Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining me. My name is Graylan Stewart, and if you're new to my channel, I am an entrepreneur and virtual wholesaler, and this is my Work Wednesdays series where I just basically vlog about what's going on in my current business, good, bad, or ugly, and that's kind of what I do. So today is a super exciting day. Honestly, this is the best day, the best news I've had in months, literally months, since May, probably. So if you follow my channel at all, you've known that I went through this horrible experience on switching CRMs, trying to switch back to my Podio, and that wasn't the worst of it. The worst part about it was my phone numbers from CallRail. I ported over, which means I moved 21 phone numbers from CallRail to this other CRM, and it was a complete nightmare. All of them didn't end up getting ported over. It was like kind of sporadically over several months, and then I finally decided to cut my losses on the whole system and get my phone numbers back into CallRail. So getting them back was a somewhat of a nightmare, but not near as bad as porting them out of there. Porting them back was definitely a little bit easier. But it's good news today because I got my phone numbers back. I'm so excited because I've had so many different marketing channels paused over these last few months because I didn't want to get leads just kind of floating out there lost in the abyss or whatever. Because I have certain phone numbers that track certain things, and sure, I could buy different phone numbers and that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's like these are the numbers that I use on these particular marketing channels, and I didn't want to give those up. So it was super important to me to actually use those phone numbers again, because we still get leads from some of those older campaigns and things like that. But at the end of the day, they're all tied to those phone numbers. So I'm super excited because finally, after dozens of emails back and forth with the old system developers and the CallRail people, trying to get these things situated and finally ported back into my CallRail account. It was crazy, and it finally happened for me. So, this sounds really silly if you're watching this, but it's the honest truth. It's literally the best day in months that we've had in my business because literally all those paused campaigns, we can now go active again. And one of the biggest ones is pay-per-click and Facebook. So if you follow my channel at all, I did a video on my top marketing channels for Q2, and obviously, we're still in Q3 right now, technically. So basically, all of Q3, I haven't done those marketing channels that made me successful in Q2. Not all of them, but some of them. I had to pause some of them. And then we kind of added some as phone numbers were available in one system or the other. So it was completely stupid. We were actually working out of two different CRMs for the last couple of months, and it was crazy. It was bonkers. So we honestly would end up getting a lead in one system and copy that lead into Podio so that it was in the system that we wanted to be in once we decided to make the switch back. And but now there's no issue because we actually have all of our phone numbers back. So now I can start pay-per-click again. I can start my Facebook ads again. We do both of those nationwide. That's the only things I do nationwide because my main market that I target, just because I'm from there, is Oklahoma City. So that's no secret. Those of you that have watched me for a little while. But we do pretty much every marketing channel in Oklahoma City. So even I'm on local radio stations there on a couple of different stations, and even those we didn't have to pause those because that number got ported over pretty quickly. Thank goodness. Probably because CallRail never owned it. I bought that from a third party anyways, and I ported it into CallRail. So I'm guessing that's why that one didn't take a long time to port out. Because it wasn't theirs, to decide really anyways. It was my phone number that I bought elsewhere. But anyways, so thank goodness radio didn't pause because that's still been a viable lead source for me. But, unfortunately, the last couple months, a radio lead would come into this other new system that we decided not to use, and we would have to copy all that information and set up a new lead in Podio, and it was just a time killer, very inefficient. But at least we're still getting leads from that, and obviously cold call leads were a little bit easier, just because those aren't necessarily phone numbers that we have for that. That's more of lead forms. And on that note, obviously mostly pay-per-click and Facebook are lead forms. However, you do get phone calls on those. So, and those leads cost so much, especially pay-per-click. That's the reason I didn't want to chance losing some of those. Cold calling, if something didn't come into the system, I can always check ZenCall because that's what we use. But if we lose a pay-per-click lead, I mean, that could cost me hundreds of dollars potentially just for the lead itself, and then potentially thousands of dollars for us not being able to follow up with that and actually close the deal with it. So anyways, thought I'd share that news with y'all. It is Work Wednesdays. It's just kind of my vlog for the day. So super short, to the point. Didn't want to keep you too long. Don't want to keep rambling. But I'm very excited that we finally got my phone numbers back. I mean, I was literally losing sleep over this. Because we didn't have our most valuable lead sources out there. So now we can start it all up again, and I'm super excited. So please drop me a comment. Give me your thoughts on this video. If you have any ideas of other videos that you need to see or you want me to do, definitely drop that in the comments. I'd love to do it for you. I definitely take requests. So I'm doing content pretty much every day. So anyways, hit me up and I'd be glad to help you out. But also, if you've made it this far, please drop me a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't cost you anything and it would definitely help me out. So I greatly appreciate it. Anyways, hopefully you saw value in this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.